And good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. All right. What do we got here on the side? Felix got some little black spots there. Okay. I think we're going to create a type that represents... Oh, well, hello everyone. We're continuing from yesterday. Good morning, Xenocron. And... I think we should create a type that represents the different components. Life cycle, right? So when they get mounted and unmounted, that's it. We'll need to know the handle. So when it gets mounted, we might pass it some of this information. And then when it is unmounted, the same thing. And does it need to know whether or not the component is live? Probably not. I think the components can know whether or not they're live. So we could have some sort of option. Life cycle, what else could we call this? Sure, that's good enough for now. So what is it doing? It's basically announcing that, hey, we're mounted or we exist. Call it existential crisis. What else could we do? Now, is this going to be specific to web view stuff? No, it shouldn't be specific to web views. Oh, and you know what we should do? We should update our little text. Properties. Not a registrar, like a component registrar. That would be someplace where you register the component. Something that registers it, maybe. And what are these little pieces? Do we call them components? Do we call them views? Call it a view lifecycle. We need something. Let's create one. Lifecycle. It's going to be... Oh, where should that be? Not in Axum Live View. Something that sits between these different crates. We're working on this piece here. And this will be responsible for communicating with that side. But we might have other types of connections to this, where this would be useful. So we need some other crate for this to sit in. There we go. New lib. We could have a util crate. That could be a bit of a dumping ground until something more specific happens with it. New life cycle. Let's be restart. Okay, now we need drop for that. Can we close some of these? How do we close these? Oops. I close them from here? Oh, that's interesting. Control. Is that going down? Oh, you know, oh, they have like a close others. Let's try that. ECO, okay. Perfect. So we want this used by web. TUT here. For prompt and history. Oh, it's not this great though. This would be util. Huh. I think it should be an option to it. We no longer need to know whether or not we're live because the life cycle should do that. Get rid of that. Gone from our chill normal music to rock. Wow. I don't mind it. It's just not chill, you know? We could try to surprise me again. Okay. No longer need is live. However, some T if the bool is true or none otherwise. This would be util lifecycle, view lifecycle. Thank you for the follow. Heiser, I don't know. You stumped me. Let me know how you would like your handle pronounced. Use util Heiser. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, we don't have a new function. We need to know what kind these are. We also need drop. Oh, now we need like tracing and all that jazz here. What are we looking at? This is Helix, the editor, and we are working on building a mud. So if mud is like if you're not old enough to remember a mud, it is like a old school MMO. Right, back when there were BBSs, back before the internet. But we're going to put a modern spin on it. You'll be able to access it with a web browser at those modern newfangled tools. So I want to add some tracing here. Just for fun. We need tracing. We're going to add -p util tracing. Is this cool there? Log. I think we're good there. Okay, that should be okay. There we go. Yeah, interesting. Like it should be good. Should be good. I think we need an enum. New kind. So we need something there. We need that. It's not a struct. This should be an enum. We'll have prompt, history. That's all we have at the moment. Sort variants alphabetically. Oh, yes, please. Extract module. That's not what I was expecting. Extract module to file. Where did that go? Mod name. Ew, okay. All right. Module view kind. Needs to be over here though. So views view kind. This one we want to just close. View kind, we want to save. Oh, it's in the wrong place. I had it inside of view lifecycle, so it added a directory. Ooh, no. Okay. Source. View lifecycle, view kind to source, just there. Okay, arm dir. Oh, we can't. It's not empty. That can go away. rm-dir. Source. View life cycle. Perfect. That looks good. Good morning, Pink Floyd. All right. We have our view life cycle. It's no longer mod name though. It should just be view kind. Oh, how do we do multi-vem on this? You select the whole file, then use S on that, but I thought there was another way. We're going to look this up in Helix for a moment. Cursor. Nope. Copy selection into the next line. There's not that much there. Oh, you learned about Unicode today against your will. Oh, what happened? View kind, we need to import that. This? Oh, it's never read. That's fine. That's fine. We need another function called mount, pub function mount, where we will take a number of elements, some other properties. I don't know that it's going to return anything at the moment, but it would use the kind to send a message. I think this would have a view handle. I don't remember the type at the moment. Register view handle. Let's also add some documentation here. Extended grapheme clusters happened. Turns out the old version of the compiler we used didn't know the new grapheme splitting rules and split them. Whoa! Split them wrong. Oh, because of the new rules? Old standard library, old compiler, same thing. Wow. Is this the Rust compiler? It's not many compilers understand grapheme rules. Okay. Start here. We no longer need is live. Is live dot. Let's use then. I know I did it differently with the other piece, but now that we're starting to have a little bit more passed around, View life cycle. And we need the view kind. History. Put the old grapheme input into the old splitter. Oh man. Oh, that's exciting. Okay. Life cycle. That should be an option. Oh, how do we surround again? Am I... it's over here. Am I A? Around... Okay. It's just A. I have to go into match mode. I'll add. There we go. Still learning the Helix. How do you even, like, how do you even figure that out? Like, okay, we can get rid of drop here. Then when we mount, self.lifecycle dot mount, we will give it the handle. And this is a live view. Excuse me, that's a live view handle of type T. Okay, so we'll need to make the our lifecycle generic view handle. Yeah, we just don't care what M is here. Okay. Oh. Right. Because that might be none. How you doing, Brooke? Ah, doing the raid again. Heading off to work? We've made it past Wednesday. We're on Thursday now. Hope you had a great stream. That's happy Thursday, man. Happy Thursday. We're having a bit of fun with Bastion, Axum live views, and just trying to understand stuff. Getting GraphNull set up with Asora and Postgres. Wow. What is GraphNull? Did it create? Oh, GraphQL set up with... Okay. Ooh, instant GraphQL APIs on your data. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Oh, very nice. You self-host the production one. What are you using for self-hosting? Yeah, this is cool. I imagine you simply explain the relationships and then it does the rest. That's cool. Then how does it do for connecting to other APIs? Because that's some of the power of GraphQL, right? That you can have a distributed backend. Like one query could hit 100 backends. Oh, wow. That's neat. Okay, actions hit other APIs. Nice. Oh, I like their graphic. Look at that. Little follow the bouncing dot. Comes over here. That well, that's just eye candy. Look at that. That's cool. Very nice. And thank you for the follows. Zyrid and Zandip. Sandeep? Sandeep. GraphQL was supposed to be used between client and server communication. It typically is. It typically is. But usually a GraphQL server will reach out to other backend endpoints in order to gather the data needed to produce the result. All right. What do we have there peeking through? Is that... It's a sprite. A sprite's peeking through. Okay. Oh, that's not right. Oh, that's better. Service literally calls out to something like gRPC. That was, if I remember correctly, that was the original purpose for why Facebook built it, so that they could consolidate their many backend systems into a cohesive API for people to call, or for themselves to call. It reduced a lot of the traffic because you call one place for a small set of data. You get just what you need across multiple backends and multiple data sets. Wouldn't that make it unsafe if we do it directly against between databases? You like Apollo Federation for something like that. I've never really looked into Apollo Federation. I'm going to try to speed through this, though. Let's life cycle. To this function are incorrect. Good. This is a view handle of type T. Oh, and we need to keep track of that view handle, don't we? For when we unregister. Maybe? Or we have some sort of identifier. Maybe the view kind is good enough? I'm so good at muting myself and then forgetting about it. Well, thanks again for the raid, Brooke. Have a great day at work, man. Interesting that this will need to know about that. What? They're making little alarm sounds. I'm not going to listen to songs that are like doing wake-up calls. That's not okay. Well, thank you, Zybrid. Thank you, thank you. This piece here, not so fond of bringing live view into this crate, the util crate. So util might be used by many crates. Let's grab web, live view. Okay, so we have Axiom Live View, we've got tracing. You don't trust yourself enough to keep stuff filtered via annotations. So what you've done is separate the GraphQL entities from database entities internally, just because you are your own biggest critic. All right. Let's close that. Close that. Restart our LSP for reasons. View handle. There we go. Associated function here. Oh. Yep. We need to update prompt. Then, little closure, we'll create a new one of these. And the view kind. This is a prompt. Okay. Now down in mount, we have to do the same thing. View lifecycle is equal to self.lifecycle. Missed that. Okay. TLX. There we go. Lifecycle dot mount handle. Lifecycle mounted. Pass the kind. Boom, done. Oh, self.kind. Okay. View lifecycle will notify something. I don't know. TBD. That messages from the game from the engine role-based authentication scheme where it calls out to your authentication service on every request. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. We have mounting set up. We have our little life cycle pieces. Trying to clean up some of this as we go along. Okay, those I'm going to leave. Context, we do not need to know about that. Okay. We should come back and do more tests. Hence, I'm leaving those. Oh, do we need the... We do have the identifier. We need to pass... We need to pass the identifier from the header map. Ew, I forgot about that. UID. Let's add UUID to this. Cargo. Add -p UUID. Oh, util. Forgot to give it the crate. We need features v4. Actually, do we need that? I don't think we need that. Let's try it without. Okay. Restart the LSP. All right, now we also need to provide that. Do we know that when we're getting created, though? I don't think we do. It would be nice if we had it on creation. Oh, thank you. I was caught up thinking about where to get that. Can we have it in new? Or do we have to wait until mount? Here we only have embed live view. Embed live view does not have headers. We need the headers. Be here. All we have is the live view upgrade. Why do we not have the headers here? I think we should have the headers. With this being Axum, we could ask for the headers here, couldn't we? And then the router would add them. Then we should be able to get them early enough. Registration guard. That's like an option to enable an empty default. So I think that's kind of where we're heading. I called it life cycle, but we could rename it. I'm happy to rename it. Registration guard seems much more appropriate. We did have a moment where we were Struggling with naming things. Registration guard is much nicer. Let's do it. Vanguard, runtime guard. You have the benefit of, you know, seeing those in the... Oh. Yeah, you have the benefit of seeing those in the wild. I don't come across them that often. Mutex guard, yes. But... registration guard. Oh, but what is it? This is a view registration guard. We might have others. Okay. Trying to close some of these. Okay. Can't find module. Yeah, I hear you. Okay. But do I ever wonder how Tokyo Spawn knows about which runtime to use? Oh, a thread local variable. I was wondering, I have wondered about that. Oh, I have my other gloves on today. These things are awesome. Check these out. You recognize it? Oh, we got my little space aliens all over there. And my other one. Going down for a 4-block. I don't know if it shows up, but it has score. It has level, lines. Yeah. These are my typing gloves. All right. Tetris is awesome. Okay. Thank you for helping with the naming on that. That's much better. we also want to look at what? How do I ask Axum for like the header map? Can I just toss that on there? That's not it. Hyper header map. Mm-hmm. This is HTTP header map, but that should be the same thing that Hyper is using. Oh. We'll see if that works. Okay. View ID. That's what we're going for. We just don't know whether or not that can work yet. So let's comment this out for a moment. I want to see that we get the headers for this. If we get the headers, we can set these up earlier. We can tell these live views what their ID is. Headers dot get. It's a x-request ID. That should be const or static rather. That should be static. Let request ID equal to that, and we will. Oh, does Helix have snippets? Tracing error. Okay, let's see that we have that. If we do, then we can wire it up. Cargo run dash be a server. Here we go. Firefox ready. Localhost 8080. Okay. We do get it there. Ooh, lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Live view. Perfect. Okay. I wonder why it takes so long for the JavaScript to connect. I would expect it to be quicker. We have that. We will just expect that this exists. We could return early, but this should be it should not be possible to get to this point without that. So later, when we add a test for this, should exist. Now, what is this type? It's a header value. And what can we do with a header value? We can get a toString on that. As bytes. Not sensitive, so let's just do toStr on that. Oh, it's a result. Effect. Now we have a stir. Now, the reason that we're setting these up like so is so that we can create the view registration guard. But we could create the guard and then pass it in, as it's going to need to know more information. Do we continue to pass information in just for the view registration guard? Oh, design questions, design questions. We could pass in an option to a view registration guard. But that does mean that we bubble up this complexity to here. I'm going to continue the current pattern. We'll pass that request ID in. Maybe we extract the request ID pieces out into util. Have a little wrapper type. Not necessarily for these pieces here where we create it. So we have our little new type and can better describe this. Passing stirs around and then having to understand that, you know, it's a specific type. I would rather lean on the compiler to help us with that. Let's go into utillib and mod request ID. Hmm. Okay. Oh, after we convert it to a stir, we will map that. Hmm. Oh, hold on. This is util request ID. That's fine. Okay. Now we will have a request ID from util. Oh, what was it suggesting? Oh, no, that's not the one we want. Okay. So we can pass that into our registration guard and have our view ID. Oh, that's this crate. Those through. Oh. Oh. Yes. This one we want it owned. We do not implement clone on that. We should. Wait, what? Oh, this should be more of, okay, to owned. But we don't implement to owned. In the standard library, is there a trait for to owned? Oh, there is. It's implemented for T, where T is clone. Okay, so we just implement clone and we get to owned. Okay. Mismatch type. Let's do the same thing here. Yeah, that might work. So now our registration pieces, our registration guards, know what the request ID is. Oh, we should change that to like view ID. Let's give that a better name. Yes, I don't. Yes, this is better. If we call it view ID, we do not conflict with request ID from all the other crates. Okay, write everything. Now we close that file because we are going to move it using Helix. So we need to go to source lib and util and request ID, which now has a view ID on it. We'll rename that. We have view ID, view kind, view registration guard. Okay. Let's run it. Thank you all for the follows. Thank you, Ben. BSE Bastian. Thank you for that follow. Oh, B Sebastian. Oh, reading is hard. Yeah. Okay. I think we're at the point where we now need these guards, these view registration guards, to do something. They need to register and unregister these view handles for this view with something. And we don't have that something yet. So, how do we do this with Bastion? We need to send a message to something. So a supervisor is just a node in a supervision tree. It has some properties, whether or not it restarts all of its children at if one dies or one at a time. So there are some supervision strategies that you can choose. One for one, right? If one dies, you restart the one. One for all, and all for one, right? If one dies, you restart them all. But rest for one, what's this one do? When a children group dies, either because they got killed, panicked, returned an error, this group and all of the ones that they were added to the supervisor after it are restarted. Oh, okay. This group and all the ones that were added to the supervisor after it are restarted. Wow. Okay. Interesting, but I do not think we need that. But we need something. We need some place to send a message saying, here's a live view component. Add this to something. Right? No, we need a child. Because children can receive messages. Supervisors can't. Children. So you can create a child and then send it messages. That child could then spawn another child. Or send a message to it. So what I would like to do is to be able to send a message somewhere saying this thing has appeared. Please handle it, take care of it, whatever. What does a dispatcher do again? Okay. And a distributor. I see. So you could tell one of these children. Let's say you had a number of children that were available to respond to a SQL query or something, or to compute something. You could tell one and it would just find one and tell it. Or all of them. You could ask one. Anonymous or named. Interesting. Forwards the message to the handler for processing, so we could have a handler on this. Glitchy, given your knowledge of Bastion, what I'm trying to do, right, we're trying to register these pieces. What's like a normal way of doing that here? Do I use a dispatcher, or... Because it seems like I'm supposed to use, like, send a message to a distributor. Then a child could then take that message and do something with it. But I'm not certain between distributor and dispatcher on this. A dispatcher create a child if it doesn't exist? I want to know the amount of children, and we don't know if the child exists already, right? Because the first time somebody connects, right? Somebody connects, you get, let's say they just connect, and you get a couple of view pieces. Those view pieces then toss their you know, request ID plus their view type, right, and the view handle over to something, and this something then needs to either create a new child to handle this, or know, or basically just have some sort of dispatching system so it can sort out messages later. And maybe that's it. Maybe I'm thinking too broadly. So I was thinking that we would have basically a view shows up and it has two pieces, right? It's got 1, 2 pieces. Each one of these pieces then sends a message to something, right? And that something either needs to say, oh, I don't have a child for you yet. Here, have this. Or it itself manages the registry of these things. Which could be, right? Does that create a choke point here later when we start to send lots and lots of messages from the game server to these clients? It feels like it would be a choke point, and that there should instead be, when it receives these two, let's say 1 and 2, that those views for, or those components for A end up getting created into, registered into an A child, right? That has 1 and 2 over there, right? And then the game server can just notify A, like, hey, you've got an update, right? Which seems like it has less of a choke point. And method will return an error. I see. So we could have something that always exists, right? Like the registrar. Copy link. Oh, the registrar could try to send it to A. If it didn't exist, then we create A. Interesting. Disconnected full. Empty recipient. Got it. Okay. If the registry won't overload at some point. I see, because you're saying that it could very well overload. Okay. So let's say we remove the registry and that we need A to be some child that exists somewhere, right? Who's its parent? Because let's say that the guard knew how to create A if it didn't exist. Where would it hang A? Right? Arc dash map, that is shared registry between a group of registry handlers. That seems like a reasonable solution. Ooh, oh yes. Or the one that Juno, John who? Oh my goodness. the other one, the flurry. Thank you, flurry. Yeah, so basically this one scales up or down depending on the load. We have flurry. Oh, that's nice. So then we get rid of A here, right? All the messages just come straight into the scaling registry. We have the flurry lookup, and the component registry can just chew through messages as fast as it needs to. Oh, I like this. Oh, that is so neat. Okay. Oh, I like it. I like it. So that means that the game engine just says, send this out. You know, UI registry. Boom, here you go. Power Bastion. Yeah, this is nice. So in Erlang and Elixir, I would have actually done things a little bit different. Right, in Erlang and Elixir, I would have created a child, basically something that's addressable, and then each one would have had state. So it is a little different. Yeah, I would have sent a message to a supervisor, because supervisors can receive messages. The supervisor would have then just created a child or dispatched the message to the child. But you're right, that would have created a choke point in the Erlang version. So really this registry could still create children, right? So that when the game messages come in, it's going to specific children, right? Oh, but why have the children at that point? Might be able to get rid of flurry, right? Because then the state would be in each individual child, because A would have an ID, right? ID 1, right? Yeah, it does. It's like the framework for dispatching these messages to the different UI pieces. I'm just wondering if because we can only do the registry here because we have flurry or, you know, concurrent data structures. If we went the shared nothing route, we would simply spawn up children and they would manage their own state. Ponder, ponder, ponder. How do we create addressable children. Yeah, we'd address the children by the request ID, right? So that's their identifier in the system. So we'd have like ID 1 here, right? 2 over here, 3, and or the view ID, if you will. A distributor, something like logic child. Yeah. He uses an internal concurrent hash map to look up the children. So we're just pushing, kicking the can down the street a little bit. Not dispatcher. I see. Ooh. Would I rather rely upon theirs or one I introduce? I would rather rely on theirs. Okay, we can still have the registration piece, auto scale, right? And the registrar would pass these view handles to the children, and the children would then, you know, keep the state. Oh, yes. Copy link. Oh, what is this? Lever transaction table implemented with optimistic concurrency and repeatable read isolation. Huh. I wanted to read it as LOL table, LOL, but lever's a lever. Ew, look at this. Transactional systems. Interesting. Hop table. Neat. All right, let's try to do it this way. Oh, I see. It's a library by the same person that started Bastion. That does make sense. Okay. All right, so when we mount, registrar is going to be distributor. Oh, we need this over here too. Bastion and util. We don't need any features. And it's lock-free in a lot of scenarios. That's pretty cool. I didn't see like a paper on it. Is this just a well-known style of concurrent table? Oh, it must be well known. I mean, obviously. Hey, Sudu. Happy Thursday. Ready to hear that? Happy Friday, yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, let's go back to server main, where we start to set things up. All right. So here, where is it? We start the web piece. We need something else. We need the registrar. I don't think it deserves to be part of the ECS, but as a layer between the UI and the ECS. What do I do other than development? I have a family, so I spend time with them. I play WoW with them. We've been watching the latest season of Survivor together. Outside of tech, well, I also do some metalworking. I like to do welding and woodworking. But I do tell people, and I believe it, that if I retired today, I would program tomorrow. Yeah. So like the only thing that would change my life is that I would do more of the programming that interests me. So. Ooh, you build scale armor models. Oh, very cool. I've wanted to get like a 3D printer that I could kind of that I could use for doing sand casting, because we'll do aluminum casting, right, where you heat up aluminum, go to the recycle center, grab like just blocks of aluminum, scrap aluminum, and cut it up into small pieces, you know, melt it down into ingots, and then do some sand casting, because we do that already, but just not the 3D printed shapes yet. I have an FDM printer that I've modified. I spent a lot of time on it, and it's always had issues, right? Yeah, I've replaced the motor controllers, all sorts of stuff, and it seems to be so temperamental to temperature and humidity in the filament and all this other stuff that it just doesn't work well for me here, because we get large swings in temperature, right? Somebody opens that door over there and boom, the room's like 5 degrees cooler. So, but yeah, I've had like built foam, like little towers around it to keep it warm, and I don't know. It's much more of a hobby. I built an enclosure around it, and then I had like vibration issues, and like it's just like one thing after the next. So I've considered going to the resin to see if I would have the same sort of issues. Yeah, if you leave, let's say, something in this room, which is well insulated. I insulated this room really, really well. But, oh, well, thanks for popping in, Pink Floyd. I would love to know if the resin printers are as temperamental to environmental conditions. I was looking at that, there's this one. What is it? LU, like it's massive. But I would want something this large so that I could create parts, like aluminum parts. Yeah, like the Jupiter here. Right. Where's the Jupiter? Resin printers. Ooh, the price has dropped. Oh, look at that. Maybe $1,000. So not cheap, which is part of my hesitation. But I would love to be able to, let's say, print something. Yeah, maybe it's like this model here, right? And you couldn't sand cast this, right? You would have to do, I guess technically you could, if, oh man, if you'd have to use wax and porcelain. Add to cart. Yeah, let's do it. No. Well, we can click the button. I'm not gonna. Actually, a little cart thing came up, but it's not doing anything. Oh, it's my too zoomed in. Let's go to regular resolution. Because you don't just need this. You need like the other stuff for hardening it when you're done, and all sorts of stuff. Couldn't buy it if I wanted it, yeah. But yeah, you could print something like this. Well, could you print something like this? You would have to transfer it to wax so that you could then because I'm thinking about taking it to aluminum, right? Having a little aluminum statue, and you just don't have the draft on this, right? Like the important piece, you might have like a multi-sided form for this, or have to create different pieces that you then pull the wax version together. Because you basically need to create an inverse mold. What is it called? Wax loss casting? Might get close enough. It's really for shapes that you can't have a draft like with sand casting. You have to be able to pull the sand off the shape, right? So you get sand that's tacky enough to stick together. It's usually like a clay, sometimes an oil that bonds the sand together. And so when you try to pull the sand off the piece, like, there has to be a clear direction for the sand to go. It can't be blocked by other pieces. So you can do metalworking in a small level, right? Like with these guys here. They have gold and silver style crucibles, which you can do smaller pieces of like metalworking. Jewelry furnace. So you can get a little desktop foundry that you can melt stuff in. Yeah, aluminum. Works on 110 volts. So you get a little casting. You have your... you guys got me talking about other stuff that's not rust. But really, you see the little cylinder there. The cylinder is what you would put your metal into, and you have the tongs there that fit into the top of that crucible, so you can pour it in a controlled way. No, there you go. There's an example. Resin usually likes to stay around 25C. Hard resin though? Yeah, if it can get rid of one of the issues, right? 5 degrees of connection, that's close enough. Yeah. Yeah, you could use that for doing like small things like, you know, little models or portions of. Like you can print things out and do casting for interlocking parts. Yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff. But coming back to like this printer, it's like, because I want to build functional parts for like machining, right? A lady's gonna love another one of your hobbies. There's a couple of people I like to follow on YouTube, and oh, what is the guy's name? I'll have to look it up in Chrome. Let's see. Well, there's this old Tony does random stuff with like machining and whatnot. But one that does it kind of out of his garage. Oh, it's Paul's garage. That's it. This guy, I think his like main gig is like appliance work or appliance repair, that sort of thing. But yeah, he does all sorts of cool stuff in his garage. Built a little furnace for melting aluminum. Right. Ooh, he got some oil sand. VFX and 3D modeling. Then it's makerspace with this. Yes, there you go. Now you got a plan. You should do it, absolutely. And if the lady asks, just tell her that some random guy on YouTube told you so, or Twitch, or the internet. Yeah, some random stranger that really has no idea about what goes on in your life said it was the best thing. Yeah. Okay, I think we need a layer. A message wall. Because Bastion and the ECS, they're going to be sending messages, hopefully directly to the children. So we need the yeah. Let's create another crate. Why not? I don't know why. Like, doesn't really fit in the web portion. Doesn't fit in the ECS portion. nice. That's right. That's right. You're gonna do some crazy cool earrings and... Yeah, just don't take jewelry she likes and melt it down. Don't do that. Not good. I will... Is this all on GitHub? We're planning that. Too late? It's not yet on anything. It's in Git though. We've made one commit, so... But... Addy Super 94? Yeah, it's not quite there. In fact, that would be a good thing to get set up. Where do we want to put it and get... Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and commit this. No. Sure, we'll take that. Util, yes. Where all that can go. Yep, that goes. All right. But where do we want this to live? I'm wondering if we can have a remote on GitHub for people to interact with. Because I like to use SourceHut, but it's hard for people on the interwebs to collaborate on SourceHut because of the email problem. Let's see. What can we do on GitHub? Let's do a new repository. Select an owner. Oh. This is like... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, come on over. You can do it. Okay, there we go. I should have put it on the monitor up there, which is the same size. Halsey. This is called Rustretto. I don't want this. Oh, elsewhere. Import a repository. Old repository. I don't want it to be the old one. I just want it to be a mirror. Or part of a distributed thing. So I could basically pull stuff off GitHub where people are collaborating into SourceHut, where I would consider the kind of master of this to be. So because let's create the SourceHut one first. I'm going to create a new project. We will call this Rustretto. GitLab and have a circle CI/CD that copies over to GitHub. Yeah, and I think I can do some of that with some of the other automation, either in GitHub or SourceHut, which I actually pay for. So... Tags. Rust. Mud. I don't know. Game. Public. Sure. Okay, let's add source code repository. Git. Thank you. Mailing list. Sure. If you guys actually want to send email, Rust, Mud, Sweat, and Tears. That's right. All right. Sure. Let's do all three. Why not? Add bug trackers. Ooh. Just gonna leave it. All right, let's go to sources. Git add, no, remote add origin that git push. Okay. So then we have this here. Oh yeah, license, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, okay, let's add the license real quick. Copy dot slash which voices? Did I have license in there? Yes. Okay. Okay. We added licenses, but it doesn't see like one. But we could add. I'll figure that out later. Read only. Let's grab this here. Go over here. Rustretto. Choose an owner. Halsey. Rustretto. Public. Sure. Begin import. All right. We have mirror. Node. I mean, Git is distributed, and I would like to treat it as distributed. Releases? No. Packages? No. Environments? No. Thank you. Just Git. Whoa, 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 whoa. I must have hit back somehow. Save changes. Okay. Do I really want issues here or over there? I'd prefer them elsewhere. This is not going to be where the main pieces. Settings. Collaborators, moderation options. I don't see how to turn that stuff off, but whatever. Oh, features, issues, nope. Wikis, nope. Reserve it, GitHub archive program? That's alright, thank you. Okay, that seems all right. And we don't have to click save on those, they just go away. All right. All right. We should have a readme. Let's do that real quick. All right. Chat GPT incoming. Hello. What is this? Shell GPT? Command line interface? Wow. Oh, goodness. Automatically push and pull changes? Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never really done this before, so we'll see how it goes. All right. It doesn't seem like it should be all that challenging, so... okay. Did I not save the file? Oh, yes, we were about to do that. Let's... Okay, now I need to add the other one and make sure things sync that way and back again. I thought... okay, yep, that's good, good. All right. Oh, I want... here. I think I'll have to do this manually just for a little bit. Code, copy. Yay. Okay, so coming back to this, what do we have here? Packages, secrets, mirror to Azure. Oh, I see. Yeah. So I think the more interesting piece, because this one's fairly straightforward. The more interesting piece to me is where it comes back the other way, right? How do we get triggers on stuff coming back? And that I'm not certain on. It's builds we can trigger. YAML files, yep. Environment. Integrations. Yeah, I don't like that network effect either. I even think it's viral, right? Like it's infectious. We could create something on GitHub, or the GitHub pieces, that would trigger some tasks over in Source Hut. Right? Figured via GitHub Actions. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. Yeah. Infinite loop. Anyhow, it's something that we can aspire towards. Coming back to what we were looking at, we need some distribution piece. We have Bastion that basically holds everything. We have the ECS. We'll have the message. Message wall. We need a better name for this. GL. Huh. What sort of name should we give it? It will receive messages from the game side to basically our connections, and then it will get divvied up and sent out from there. So what do we call this? Need to get going. But that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. Profit. All right. Bastion, ECS, something, profit. So. Stuff is warming up at work. I got to get going. Well, thanks for hanging out. Oh, what did I... Oh, I clicked on an ad that wasn't visible yet. That should not be allowed. I think it also goes against the spirit of Git. Like, GitHub goes against the spirit of Git. Having a centrally controlled and infectious server, right? A single point where it exists, right? And that's where you do all of your collaboration, everything. Whereas Git was designed to be distributed, right? Fault tolerant. Right now, if GitHub goes down, goodness, all sorts of things break. And it's not meant to be that way. Git was supposed to be this replacement for these central, source control servers, which now people just treat GitHub as a central source control server. But it is what it is. All right, let's raid. We will raid Kuviman. Yeah, crates.io is tied to GitHub. It's, yeah. But, if you look into it, it's just because that was the easy thing to do, right? That's where Crater is. That's where all this other stuff is. And if you ask, like, why is it only GitHub? It's like, well, there's a good reason. It's because we have limited resources. So, like, I get that. And it makes sense. So, till next time, y'all. Bye-bye.